Alright, now hold up. Before you dislike the video, I'll flood my comments with a bunch of bullshit or whatever. Please, hear me out on what I have to say. Now, let's just go ahead and roll the intro so that we can get into the meat of this one. Okay, so this video, third video on the super straight thing, and I am not here to push any more negativity or rant towards the community as a whole. In truth, if you're someone who pushes the love, acceptance, and all the other bullshit, and part of the community, like any other LGBT community or whatever, I do humbly apologize to you, and I do wish you the best. You are the good eggs in this community. And as for the people on the other end that are going to bash this no matter what, there's no changing how they think. But please, do watch this video to the end before you come to any conclusions about where I am currently as of now. So, yeah. Now, the reason for this supposed sudden shift is because after getting comments of varying kinds, after talking to certain people in the community, and, all this other stuff, I do in fact realize that there are good people within this community that don't bash trans people, that don't try to devalue someone's sexuality as a form of defense for super straight or any of this other anti-LGBT stuff. You're the good eggs, and you do exist, and for that I do applaud you. I celebrate and people like you who are actually being a part of this community despite everything. As long as you keep that up, then I have no issues, and I hope you have no issues with me. If you're part of the most vocal of the super straight community, from what it looks like, where most of the time you see people spouting transphobic, anti-LGBT stuff to justify where they are, even going as far as devaluing and devalidating someone else's sexuality because they don't match with that person's mindset of what that sexuality should be, then I'm sorry, I can't. And if there was anyone in the rest of the LGBT community that did that shit, I would not support them either. Just because I don't support aren't the loud, out and clearly ignorant people in a group, that does not mean I do not show any support or any positive feeling towards that community as a whole. It's just that it is a vocal minority that is making you look bad. But hey, don't take my word for it. Take the word of someone who actually supports this.
Roxas, you say that y'all were the victims and you get shunned upon, yet you were never like that. For all you know, you were straight until you decided you were bisexual, yet you've never done a bisexual act in your life that I have known of. So therefore, you're still straight even though you haven't done anything that would deem you bisexual, yet you're just playing the side of the LGBT. You say you're on their side, yet so far you've done nothing but straight things. You say we as a whole part of a group like you've been into LGBT all your life, when in reality you really haven't. You think you might be bi, but until you suck some dick or some shit like that, I beg to differ. So it's time to put your big boy pants on. You got a wife. You are currently straight, is something like that. Sure, you can call yourself bi. Will anybody believe it? No, unless you've been with a dude. Have you been with a dude? What is your stance? How did you go about this? Did you come out to say, oh, I'm bisexual? Did you tell your parents? Were you kicked out? Because the way that it looks, I don't think any of these problems were granted upon your shoulder.
What a mess.
That is not a good look for you there, buddy. This is someone I know in real life, by the way, and someone who has been trying to promote his YouTube channel through the comments of my previous two super straight videos. This is someone that's trying to be an advocate for super straight, and yet he's spouting shit like this, which is the only reason why super straight is being considered as bad or as evil as it is. And this logic can be used against him. If you claim you're super straight and you say that you've never been with a trans person before, how do you know? How do you know if you're super straight or whatever if you've never done it? Now, if this argument was made just to make super straight look bad while also advocating for it, then Congratulations! You have accomplished that with flying fucking colors, and you have no fucking right to complain about people saying that super straight is a bad thing when you are actively making it look bad by spouting off shit like that. However, on the other hand, if your goal is to try and be accepted as a sexuality by the LGBT community and other communities as a whole, then you are failing miserably if that's the attitude you're having with it. And if it was an LGBT person saying this about a straight person saying, like, well, how do you know if you're this unless you've tried this or whatever, then yes, I would be bashing that person as well. I would be criticizing that person as well because the argument is fucking stupid. It's hateful, it's ignorant, and it just doesn't belong. Now, I doubt that the person in question whose voice clips I used there, or anyone connected to that person, is going to even bother watching this video, because at this point, they think that I am just complacent in where I am. They think that, oh, I hate super straight no matter what, it doesn't matter what kind of people are in it or anything of that nature, or they're not going to give me the benefit of the doubt, despite the fact that when this whole thing started, they kept preaching and spouting out about wanting other people to give them the benefit of the doubt, even when they were spouting in clearly hateful shit. So how is it that you're going to ask for the benefit of the doubt and have someone, try to hear you out, listen to you or whatever, even after saying stuff that has been widely accepted it as hateful towards LGBT, trans, or anyone else like that, yet the moment that someone else that was on the opposing side asks for the benefit of the doubt, you decide to just brush them off and keep calling them things like bigots or superphobes or anything else without even hearing them out or without even humoring the idea of a compromise when one is presented. Much like the compromise I'm trying to bring here. As I said in the video already, if you are part of this super straight movement and you're just trying to preach acceptance without trying to bring down or try to do this at the expense of people that are trans, LGBT, or etc., and as long as you're not devaluing or devalidating someone else's sexuality like what you're claiming people are doing to you, then I have no problem with you. People like you, funny enough, I will support you. But if you're people like what I mentioned before, people who constantly say transphobic or anti-LGBT things, people that try to devalue and devalidate someone else's sexuality as a form of defense for super straight, or just anything else of that nature, even going as far as ignoring in conversation and other things that have actually happened in the past just so that you can try and make a point, then even people of your own community that you are attempting to be an advocate for should not accept you because you are actively making their community look bad. If you want to be an advocate for the community, then instead of being part of the vocal, and I'm hoping to God, minority, that's spouting nothing but negativity and again making you look bad, like making your community as a whole look bad, and then don't fall in line with what people are saying makes you wrong. And if that's really your mindset, if that's really how you feel about it, then but you still want to be accepted, and you know the reasons why people are not accepting it is because of this stuff, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you at that point. But from the amount of comments that I got about people saying that the bad eggs of the super straight community, the people that dox, that give death threats, and all of this other stuff, those are the people that are saying that kind doesn't belong. I do hope that you are the majority, and I really hope that you let your voices be heard to try and drown out this negative, ignorant bullshit. And if you're one of these people that's spouting this shit and still trying to claim that the bad eggs of the community are the ones that need to be pushed out, or the ones that don't need to have support, then look in a mirror, buddy, because you are actively talking about yourself at that point if you're spouting shit like that. Oh my fucking god, I'm trying to stay calm with this one. But yeah, super straight as a whole, I generally don't have an issue with after, looking at things from a from like a broader, wider perspective, after talking to people, after getting comments, some of the comments from super straight people that are saying that just because they disagree with my first two videos, they do not hate me, and they do not hate what I am. Those kinds of people that are proving that there is some good here, are the reason why I am willing to make this compromise and why I'm willing to try and accept this movement. But the people that are pushing all of this transphobic, anti-LGBT stuff and all this other negative shit make it really damn difficult to do that. And to any super straight people that end up watching this, which I have a feeling some of you are, considering the traffic of the previous two videos on this topic, please take a look at what's going on here. Take a look at both sides of your side, and figure out if everyone on your side should still be supported, or if you should only allow support for the side that actually supports what you want to do and isn't making you look bad. I'm probably wording this wrong, but I've had to do so many damn retakes that I don't even know what else to say anymore. This is going to be my last video on this whole super straight thing. If people still want to try and call me bigot or any of this other stuff, even after this, then there's nothing I can really do anymore. But at least I let out my piece. Next video shouldn't be any more of this gender shit. What is my next video on, anyways? I'm gonna need something strong to get me through this one, barkeep. Let's fucking go!